Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your weekly reading with me. We're going to dive straight in and see what's going on for you guys. All right, my gorgeous Scorpios. Can we get one card out, please, Spirit? For Scorpios, something to think about this week. Something that be important. Okay, so your relationship with failure is something that Spirit wants you to work on this week. The affirmation for that is, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. So no longer feeling like a failure or fearing failure in general. It's teaching you something. Let's bounce back and move forward. All right, what's the next thing that they have to say for you guys this week? Anything that you want Scorpio to hear or know right now during this week? Anything that might happen for them, please? For Scorpios. Okay, that just came out for Libra. So you have loyal hearts coming through, which has been coming up quite a lot. So I wonder what's going on in everyone's love life. Or it doesn't have to just be romantic. Loyal hearts is just loyal people, right? People who have your back, basically. So that could be friendships, family members. It could be love, though, as well. So if that's coming up for you guys, you could be focusing a lot more on this during this week. Maybe you are connecting with like-minded people. You will also have here and now. So this week, you are really being called to stay present. I always say with this card, the past and the future have their benefits, but they also get us distracted from what's most important, and that is where you are right now. You can constantly think about the future, but if you never change what's going on in the present, your future's never, that daydream that you have or that vision that you have will never come to life. Why? Because you're not working towards it, right? The present is where the work is. So you are being called to stay present. Focus on this very moment. This is where you are right now. You're not in the past anymore. So forget about that. You're not in the future either. So don't worry about it. Let's focus on what you can do and be intentional with today. All right. So let's dive in a little bit more. What else do we have for Scorpios? By the way, I always say whenever there are eggs in readings, it does represent things coming to life. So in terms of relationships, maybe there is going to be like a project that you're working on together, or there's keys here, it's maybe a home, or maybe it is about growing something together. It could be, building a family, whatever it is. The egg could be important. And the here and now card, there's also a project going on within yourself too. And this could be a business partnership anyway. It doesn't have to be love, as I said. So either way, you have two eggs. So two things being brought to life during this time. Let's see what's going on for Scorpio this week. Stag spirit, take the lead. You're being called into a leadership position in your life. And I guess it resonates a bit with that failure as well. As a leader, you understand that failures and mistakes will happen along the way, right? But a good leader knows how to navigate it, right? So I'll show you. Stag spirit is the Emperor energy. So this is all about standing in that disciplined and actionable energy, if that's a way of saying it. And electric eel spirit, bring your ideas to life. This is really good for career or ambition in general, okay? Wherever you're feeling ambition, this feels really, really good. You're being called to bring it to life. Take the lead. Don't play small, Scorpio. All right? Make sure you're writing things down is something I would definitely say with this. Right. For Scorpios, what's something they need to hear right now? You do have caution. That's an interesting one. It says, be careful. Do not make any hasty decisions now and check twice. So even though you're being called to action, I think that maybe there is a bit of caution around failure. Hold on one second. Sorry, guys. I wasn't even my phone call. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, so caution saying be careful. Don't make hasty decisions now. Check twice. Scorpio. I'm completely lost my flow there. Because you're failure here, there is potential chance that something might not work out if you're making hasty decisions, right? So just as much as you're being a leader, you're also having to make sure that things are working well and running smoothly, and that things are in order the way that they need to, whatever you're working on. All right, so there we go. Let's see what else is going on for you. Let's dive into your tarot, shall we? Let's get one card out, please, Spirit, for my gorgeous Scorpios. One card to represent how this week will be. One energy for the week. A card for the energy of the week, should I say, for Scorpio. If any. Knight of Cups. So interesting. I'm just gonna sneeze, so that's why I'm hesitating a little bit. So let me just pause this so you don't have to. Oh my goodness. Okay, the Knight of Cups is all about your vulnerability. which is it could be in terms of love. We do have love here, so maybe this is a romantic week. Okay, maybe someone is wearing their heart on their sleeve, maybe someone is telling you something from their heart, so this feels quite nice in that way. It's also about overcoming some sort of emotional barrier, and that could be anxiety. You know, that's why it's about vulnerability, and I always say it mostly is anxiety and fear. In order to get to new territories, to get outside your comfort zone, basically, you have to do the uncomfortable. And that's what this card represents to me, is being vulnerable enough to go through this uncomfortable moment because you know it's leading you somewhere else. Like, it's nothing negative or bad. It's just usually feelings that come through, like, oh, don't do that, Scorpio. But that's just fear of failure, most likely. And a fear, what if things don't work out? What if this is the wrong move? You know it is the right move. You can see what's beyond that emotional barrier. Go after it, all right? Be vulnerable enough to go after it. I will clarify the top two once I pull the second one out. So let's see, what is your energy? The energy of Scorpio, please. What is Scorpio? How is Scorpio showing up? The Wheel of Fortune. So it's a lucky time for you, believe it or not. So the Wheel of Fortune speaks about, kind of the unexpected in a way. So maybe you are feeling a little bit like you're not quite sure where things are going to go. You're just kind of hoping that things are moving forward. It is a good sign when this card comes in, because it is saying that your fate is changing. So this is actively in your energy, but it's a card of expansion and growth as well. So I do feel like with everything coming through, you're being called to expand, you're being called to go into new territory, to have a new chapter of your life, right? That's also what it represents too. So there is that fear, understandably, of what if this doesn't, work out, because you don't really know what's on the other side of this change. But it feels quite good, to be honest. I feel like you're just being called not to be too quick or hasty, like I said. But you are entering a season of change, a new season, should I say. Let's clarify these two. Why is the Knight of Cups the overall energy of this week? Can we dive a bit deeper into that? Ace of Cups, yeah, a new emotional experience. You guys definitely could be, again, like being proposed to, or someone expressing their feelings. There's just a lot of love going on here. If you are in a relationship, this is true love. With the Ace of Cups, it's unconditional, it's loving. Someone's definitely expressing something to you, or vice versa. You could be doing that to them. The overall energy this week is about entering a new emotional experience. So again, it just feel like a new chapter is coming through, even if it's just because someone's expressing something, or again, if you are overcoming some sort of experience. I feel like you're entering a beautiful new beginning there when it comes down to your feelings. And you could really be, again, focusing also on your own, filling up your own cup right now for a lot of you as well, because the Knight is going to the river to fill up his cup there. And interesting, this is the before tarot, so he's actually receiving the cup. So again, and the Ace of Cups is that. So you could be definitely meeting a soulmate this week if you've not already. All right, anyway, let's clarify that Wheel of Fortune. Why is this in the energy of Scorpio? Why is this here? What does this represent for them? Can you dive a bit deeper into what you mean by that? Okay, I love it. I just want to say, slow and steady wins the race. I know no one wants to hear that, but it's about being stable, right? And if you're working towards long-term goals, you have to understand that, and I'm just getting this message that this is why it's so important to be in the present, because it's just like, even if something doesn't work out, it's not the end. If we're looking into the goal and we feel like we need to rush there and be there right now, then that mistake might feel kind of detrimental to your growth, but it's not. You're learning, and a part of learning is making mistakes. That's how you learn, because you're like, why did I make that mistake? Oh, I could have done this instead, and that's the way it was supposed to be, so I'm going to change my approach now. I'm almost seeing math equations, like it's okay to make mistakes. That's how you learn. So with the Knight of Pentacles being here, a slow moving knight, the slowest, working towards long-term goals, that mistake is almost like doesn't mean anything, because you're taking your time, and not in a bad way. It's not in a bad way at all. It's like making sure that things are right before moving to the next thing. So taking that grounded approach is super important with that Wheel of Fortune. But both of these together does speak about growth and progress, because this is my card of progress too. So I do see that you're moving forward. All right. So I love that. And maybe you are receiving some sort of financial luck, if you want to call it, or going on some sort of journey here again. That is going to be helpful to you. This is a career and financial. So that's why you could be receiving some expansion, growth, or an opportunity there. All right, let's see what your challenge is for the week for Scorpio. What's the challenge that Scorpio might face this week? The Knight of Swords. That's exact, guys. Spirits in the room. They're saying, we said what we said. Hasty decisions and not being careful is going to be your downfall. I'm saying it dramatically. It was what was in my mind. I had to say it like that, but it's just a phrase. All right, don't panic. Don't be too quick that you miss important information. That's all that this is saying here. The Knight of Swords is not super bad. It's great that you're determined when this card shows up, but your challenge is reeling it in, right? Your determination is wanting you to just go out there and I just want to do all this stuff. And that's great. But Spirit's really wanting you to do this. Take it easy. See where it's leading you. Figuring it out as you're going along almost. Whereas this is like, I have a mission. I'm going to get there and I'm going to get there right now. Let's see. I'm going to clarify that, of course. Why is the Knight of Swords the challenge? Why is this the challenge? Can we dive a bit the devil, right? And that's okay. Clearly there is something to heal here, and I'll explain my interpretation of that. The devil is about fears. Okay. And it's also about temptations, and it's almost, I think it's about being led by fear. And usually when we rush into things, I always say it's a desperate energy, and I'm not saying like you're desperate. I'm just saying like sometimes we're desperate to see that result, to be almost confirmed that okay, this is the right path. Like I don't know, like the devil can also be material, wealth or greed or anything like that. So just be aware of whatever the devil represents for you guys. That might be creating this need to rush and I need to be there. It could even be about wanting to. It could be about ego, right? The devil could be about ego. I want to get this and I want it to be quick so then I could show everyone that they were wrong or whatever. Whatever it is, it's clearly something within that needs addressing, because that temptation or that fire that looks tempting, oh, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to get that big money. You could be being tempted in the wrong direction, right? So that's just what I'm saying here, that maybe there is somebody who's just trying to take advantage of your situation, whatever it is, right? Don't rush, because that rush is being led by hold on. Someone's phone keeps ringing. I'm having a feeling it's my boyfriend, and his phone is somehow connected to this computer. Anyways, so again, this just feels like a little bit of a temptation. Let's just call it that. It's just being hasty because of this fear, right? Or this ego boost or whatever it is. And I'm not saying that in a bad way about yourself. Like it happens from time to time that we're like, no, I want it and I want it now. I'm going to go after it. And then maybe even like, maybe your challenge here is to do with somebody else. Maybe there's an argument here and you're trying to prove someone wrong, whatever it is. I don't know. But I'm just saying I wouldn't go in that direction at all. All right, let's see what your advice is then. What's the advice, please, for Scorpio this week? What is the advice that you have for Scorpio this week, please, Spirit? Okay, you have 2. I'm gonna scream in a minute. Hold on. I feel like I've solved it, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna show you what came up. So actually, both of these cards I just looked at right now, they both seem very Sagittarian. So I wonder if you guys are on the cusp or anything like that, or whether it's just about incorporating that. So not only is the King of Wands here representing being bold is your advice, right? Being assertive in your energy and your strength and your courage and your confidence, right? And also bringing your ideas to life. It makes so much sense, especially in terms, like I always see the King of Wands as he's a leader for sure. So again, it's bringing in that emperor energy almost, but the King of Wands is also good at managing too. He's a people person as well. So if that resonates with you, then there you go. But temperance is also about patience along the way too. So as I said, it does feel like being present. It's like you're taking action. So being patient is not about not making moves. You're making moves, but in terms of seeing the result, you're understanding that you're working for a much bigger picture, right? A much bigger goal. So actually an affirmation I put out on my Instagram that I fell in love with, I need to try to remember it. Do I have it written down somewhere? And it's saying like, I'm evolving beautifully and every step I take is leading me closer to my dreams. And that was just such a beautiful affirmation. So if that resonates with you, then put it in the comments or something, affirm it in your life, write it down so you remember it, because this kind of resonates with you too in that way here. So temperance is always about a pit stop. So your advice is to go after things and to follow your passions and where you're being led, but balance yourself as you go along the way, okay? And that might help you kind of counteract or balance out that devil energy that's just wanting to throw yourself into lust or desire. This is about passion. It's different. It's the same fire, but it's different. All right. And it's also a pit stop, as I was saying. So balancing things out is super important along the way. So that's work hard, but play hard also. And make sure that your guidance is intuitively led as well. I know it's not the card of intuition, but it feels like when you're balanced enough, you're able to see what is a fear and what is, a calling. So there we go. Should I clarify that for you? Let's dive a little bit deeper into that. Let's get one card out. Why is this Temperance card and the King of Wands the advice? What's the advice that you have here for Scorpio? A calling. Well, exactly that. Now you have two angels here in your advice position. So I wonder if you have people here in spirit who are looking out for you anyways. But the Judgment is about surrendering and releasing control. So it kind of just makes so much sense. It kind of makes a lot of sense. And as I said, it is about a calling. So, some of you could be getting some sort of calling this week, or you're being called to follow that. Surrender everything else and follow that. I'm just going to clarify that Devil and the Knight of Swords. Can we get one more for this challenge? Can you clarify this challenge a little bit deeper? Why is a Devil here? Two of Wands. So it is to do with your future goals. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with them. It's just about don't rush it, right? If you really want it, don't rush it. That's what I'm feeling here. I'm Capricorn energy. Might be a lot of work ahead. So again, definitely don't want to cut corners here. Two of Wands is like that Wheel of Fortune almost, that you're looking to expand and to grow and to have that future that you're desiring for yourself. And that is perfectly fine. But enjoy the journey, because my goodness, you'll realize that the devil was always working behind the scenes. If you're feeling like you're only going to have happiness when you have that thing, or I'm only going to feel good when I have this thing, or I'll only be safe when I have this amount of stuff, right? Then you'll suffer in a process and then suffer at the ending too, because you'll have a little bit of it feeling of, I'm so glad I got this. But as human beings, we're always looking to grow and evolve, right? So it'll always be, what's the next thing, right? So that happiness is only short term. So if we want a long-term happiness, long-term success, we want to start to love the journey. We want to figure out why we aren't loving the journey and what's making us rush and what is this fear behind that. The now is so important, and that is why it's here. All right, my angels. So there we go. I love you guys. Wish you all the best. Hope this has helped you in some way. And if it did, let me know in the comments. But I'll see you guys in the next one. All right.